ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Retro Warriors, episode 535. Woo! As always, I'm your host, Justin Baker, and as always, I'm joined by Viable Human Chris Saturn.
Hi, Justin.
And not as always, we're joined by our producer, Guy.
Yeah, the RPG episodes is where I show up, I guess.
He knew ahead of time this time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Real quick,
you
before we get
jerks.
too far in, Justin, how's your balls?
My balls are doing okay. They're
Good.
doing okay.
All right,
Still tender a little bit sometimes when I
Right.
move just right,
Yeah.
but almost completely back to normal.
I'm just glad you've finally understood that they don't get removed. I've been trying to explain this for years.
I would like for Justin to do a Elvis cover song called "Balls Be Tender" to the tune
I'll
of
get
Lovely
right
Tender.
on that. Yeah, no, they're doing good. Everything's good down there. I sat on frozen peas for a couple days. I did learn
Did you eat them later?
because in my vasectomy post-op, they were like, No, I didn't eat them later. I
Okay.
thought about it, but I was like, yeah, it's kind of gross.
Didn't want
I
your ball
flip-flopped
peas.
in my head. I was like, well, they're in a package, but I also
are.
farted on it because I was sitting on them. But then they're in a package, so can farts go through plastic? I don't know. And then ultimately, I decided the cycle of thawing and refreezing would probably introduce bacteria. So I decided not to eat the
I was
peas.
just gonna ask
Um,
Gemini if farts can go through
Farts
plastic.
go through plastic. But I realized why is that getting it in that particular spot, right on your beanbag, it's hard to do with any traditional ice pack at all. So frozen peas did indeed work the best. So
good.
there you go. We do have housekeeping. Guy is obviously here for this episode, next episode. Also, if I'm subdued, we had to get an animal put down at my house today, so it's been a very emotional day of emotion.
Well, if you want to
so-
break from the emotion, according to DuckDuckGo AI, farts can permeate through plastic, but the plastic would probably contain the fart for some time.
Oh, so it would suck the fart into the bag of
Potentially.
peas?
Yeah,
You mean?
there's a chance that it could hang out in there.
I see. But
Yeah.
the real question is, once I boil the peas, do farts boil off?
If so, it might make a smell.
That's true, but you just get to enjoy the reheated fart, and then you got some fresh peas at the end. So it's all kind of works out. This is our first episode, and this is not the correct energy for the first episode.
Well, you should just end it. Like what I really wanted you to do was go, and if you've had a bad day and you want to hear the full story, join our Patreon. Just skip the entire rest of the episode. It's fine.
Right?
Forget all of it. There's nothing here. I did things. I bought one of those Pi 500 Plus units they just
Nice.
announced and came out with.
Yeah.
I did have to RMA one of them.
That's not good.
Because I didn't realize it came because it comes with an NVMe drive, which is nice.
Oh, that's neat.
And it comes with Pi OS pre-installed, which has never been the case for any Raspberry Pi
Yeah.
ever. I'm just not
You
accustomed
usually
to
have
that.
install it on an SD card or whatever.
So I got it, and I was just showing my daughter, like, look, it lights up. It's got a light up keyboard. So I'm just like, I have a USB-C by my couch, and I'm like, look, and I'm like plugging it in, and it turns on. Then I unplug it, and then she wants to plug it in, and we like power cycle it like 6 times, and we're pressing the buttons, and it just fucks the install all to shit.
What?
I know. Turns out, if you yank the power cord out of a booting Linux machine 8 or 9 times, it.
Wild.
So
I
I
don't know what
had-
happened. It came
I was like,
that.
I was like, shit. I guess I gotta open it, yank the NVMe, and reflash it.
Yeah.
And on the bottom of the built-in keyboard, it's got a nice low-profile blue switched, blue Gateron switch mechanical keyboard. Is it's just the bare PCB
Mhm.
with the little ICs that go to each key.
Mm.
And in the process, I don't know if I did it or it was already loose or what, but I knocked the IC off the
Oh.
space bar and it was too tiny for me to solder back on, and it ripped the whole fucking pad off too. So I ended up RMAing it, but I have gotten one. I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but it turns out my kid fucking loves it. It's her
Nice.
favorite thing. So she's spending, like, every day after school, she rushes home to sit on the computer and practice typing and
Nice.
watch videos on my Plex.
That's neat.
And I'm happy on 2 fronts. One, just kind of the warm, fuzzy nostalgia of like going home to sit on the computer, you
Right.
know? But then also her being on a completely stripped down, no telemetry Linux box
Yeah.
that has no accounts for anything, and I can control everything that happens feels so nice. because it's difficult to give a 9-year-old a device of any form.
Yeah.
And she wants to have. She's old enough that she wants to have her own stuff, but it's like you can't.
Yeah, I've been.
And
I've been looking at that thing just because of the nostalgia of having a computer that's built into a keyboard.
It's cool. She loves it.
Nice.
PieOS also comes with some. They're like these built-in Scratch like MIT games, and it's just like. They're kind of just junk games. Like
Sure.
the one's like a little side-scrolling beat 'em up. None of them have like menus or config screens. You can't even maximize it or it fucks it up.
Nice.
They're just super duper simple. The kind of stuff you would see built into some random OS.
Mhm.
And one of them's called Infinite Bunner, and it's Frogger, but you're a rabbit.
Okay. Yeah.
And she fucking loves it. It also has a really good Arkanoid clone.
Oh.
It's very weird. If you have anyone who hadn't been on PieOS for a minute, get on PieOS because they have some decent built-in games now.
Nice.
But they're just kind of like little piddly things. But she loves them because they're simple, and they're not complex to control. There's no menus or anything for her to worry about or any of that shit.
Nice.
And as someone who has to fight with child accounts on stuff, let me tell you, literally no company does child accounts in a way that is not an absolute fucking headache.
Yeah.
And at the very tippity top of the list of bullshit fucking family and child account systems is Google. They have the worst. It's the worst I've ever seen. It's fucking horrific. It's terrible. I hate it. But other than that, it is a Pi with 16 gigs of RAM. So it is. I would, if someone was like, "Hey, my grandma needs a computer," literally all she does is check email and browse websites. It does that pretty good. It's
Nice.
a pretty good desktop experience. So the price is a little high. Really, you could probably get one of those like little mini, regular PCs for that amount of money. But like an i5 or something in it. But it's pretty nice.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. Also playing games. I spent the weekend playing Stardew Valley. I was trying to cool off after Cold Steel.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's already cold. It says it right in the name.
It's in the name. Great.
Mhm.
It turned into Hot Steel by the end,
no.
but we'll get into that.
No, that's an entirely different genre, buddy.
Oh no. And I'd been playing the Harvest Moons and then going back to Stardew, and I talked about this in the Discord. Like, I have a lot of nostalgia for Harvest Moon, and I like what it wants to be, but Stardew Valley is just the better game. Like, just from a game perspective, it's so good. It's so good. It's just a really good game. And so I'm going through that, and I've got my guide out because I have the hardcover guide from Fangamer that's really good, and been playing that. I don't know why I put that in the list. Gradius Origins, Saturn, you sent me your physical copy of Gradius Origins, so I've been playing that, and Salamander 3.
Nice.
And it's a pretty cool collection.
It is.
I forget how fucking mean Gradius is. It's so mean.
At least this collection has some good accessibility cheats and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That and just rewind alone is
Exactly.
nice. Although I do get stuck in that cycle of rewind again, then die earlier, and then rewind again and die earlier, and then I can't. It's like the video game equivalent of like when you drop something and then you try to catch it, but then you just knock it in the air and you're like juggling it for a minute. Also picked up Star Wars Battlefront 2, not the old Battlefront 2, the new Battlefront 2. Because the Ultimate Mega Edition or whatever was on sale for like $7.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the Battlefield games, and Battlefront is just the Battlefield thing, but Star Wars.
Yeah.
And been playing some of that. It's pretty fun. It's weird because they clearly had like the season passes and loot boxes and shit, but they've taken it out of the game. But it's still there. So like the version of it that I got, like I have everything, I have every cosmetic, everything that was ever, as far as I can tell, released for the game except for like pre-order shit. But then it still has a section for loot boxes, and I keep getting currency to buy loot boxes, but then I can't buy loot boxes because I already have all the things.
Isn't that the game that had the sense of pride and accomplishment?
It might have been. And so it's just really like mechanically weird. But I just been playing that online with Andrew for something to do. So we shoot stormtroopers and make stupid jokes on like PSN. And for $8, pretty good time.
It's fair.
If I had paid $60 and they wanted me to fucking get loot boxes and shit, I would have been pissed off. But for $8, it's a fine time if you like shooting laser beams and flying X-wings and stuff. It's a fun enough.
I was watching a friend of mine play the original Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
On I forget which world it was he was playing on, but he was in like a big like AT-AT or ATST, the smaller ones from like Return of the Jedi, right?
That's the ATST.
Yeah.
I think.
He was in that thing, and some like Wookiees come running around the corner, and he's like, "Bap, bap, bap," right? And they just go like flying, and I was like, "Man, you smoked those Wookiees!" And he almost died. He laughed so hard, he like fell out of his chair. It was amazing. I didn't think it was that funny, but it was good.
Yeah, the old Battlefronts are really good. They're still really good. I still very much appreciate those. Really, just anything where it's like, yeah, it's a fun shooty gun game, and you can pick classes, and you can play with your friends online, and but also there's bots, and I don't have to play with a bunch of internet shitlords.
As also
Because,
before,
man, I don't want to do that.
Battlefield introduced like real time or real bullet physics, so being a sniper was easier.
Right, because everything just shoots in a perfect straight laser beam line.
Forever, yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Saturn, what have you been playing?
Before I get to that, I just wanted to say real quick to bounce off a guy's comment. The Surgeon General does not recommend smoking Wookiees anymore. You should not.
Right,
do
there's
that.
a warning on every package of Wookiees I buy now.
Yeah, it's ill-advised. No, I've also been playing some Gradius Origins. I'm really digging on the collection. I appreciate the on-screen indicators and everything. I do not appreciate that you can't rewind in Salamander 3.
Yeah, you cannot.
That's the only game that you cannot rewind in.
Now that they let you do like infinite lives or whatever.
You can still just continue as many times as you want,
but you can't
get through that.
rewind.
But you can't rewind.
Yeah.
Which means that if you get stuck in one of those patterns where you just keep coming back and getting hit over and over again, it's really hard to get back to your items and shit.
Yeah.
But it's still a good game. Just such a good game. Also been playing some Eternal Darkness because it's one of our game club games for this month. And man, Eternal Darkness aged really well. I am very happy with how that game still plays. It still looks pretty good too for a GameCube game.
It's one that I keep meaning to try because I think it's old enough that I could handle the spookiness. It
also wasn't nearly as spooky as a lot of other games of its era.
Yeah, it never seemed too terribly spooky, but even the spooky parts, I think, is being, low poly GameCube graphics would be fine.
Yeah,
to me. I think that'd be okay.
But it's a good one, and I've always appreciated how it goes through different eras in time, so you get to see the game's fake take on, ancient Persia or on Mesopotamia or whatever. And they're nowhere near accurate. It turns out there weren't actually demons in those different time periods.
What? But
I know.
So many jokes
too.
to make right now. I'm just gonna not.
But
there were a lot of books about it.
Right. There were. But it's good. It's still a good game. Still holds up pretty well. I do appreciate its combat system just because it's super easy. Because you can just aim for the head of every enemy and immediately decapitate them. And it's nice. And that's what I want aiming systems in games to be, where I just always get a headshot every time, no matter what.
I think we refer to that as cheating. I think
no, it's correct, is what it is.
No, it's good game design, sir.
Exactly.
I see.
For single player games, yes, it is.
Yeah.
What? No, you never played with the Golden Gun in GoldenEye?
All right. That's good too.
Yeah, what have you been playing?
I just read what I wrote. I have been playing Trails in the Sky the Third. I finally finished it.
Yes,
nice.
I've been hearing you have trouble with it.
Yeah.
It's hard because I don't obviously we don't want to spoil anything even at all. But also I'd say you had some struggles.
Well, yeah. So okay, first off, I will say that it was a nice change of pace, right?
Mm-hmm.
From every other game in the Legend of Heroes series that I have played before or since, really. Mm-hmm. The general gameplay loop is be in a spot, have an objective, but also you have requests from random people.
Right.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty different. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not how it is, like, at all. Yeah. It's completely different.
It almost feels more like a dungeon crawler.
It does. Yeah. And then it's got like side stories that are like an hour and a half and on
Yeah.
and you can't pause them.
That's also true. Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
also
or
got a couple
save.
of battles that are complete bullshit.
Yes, it does. But also like one of those side stories is incredibly dark.
Yeah.
And Saturn was like,
and
"Hey,
traumatizing.
yeah." Saturn was like, "Hey, have you gotten to this door yet?" Because I thought I'd gotten to all of them. I was like, "Oh no," because you get to one and like the requirement to open it is find all the other doors. So I just
Yeah.
assumed that was the last one.
No.
But no, there's another one after that. It was a worse one.
Yeah.
And so like the game makes you watch it. Otherwise, I'd say skip it. Right?
Mhm.
Like it needs. Like Saturn's like, oh, that one needs a trigger warning. I'm like, that one needs a like, you can skip this and still get credit for it.
A series of
Button.
trigger warnings
Yeah.
and optional, and
It needs
Yeah.
a trigger warning and also a coupon for free therapy.
And it's dude, it's awful. Like,
Mhm.
like I recommend you play it, I guess.
yeah.
But
Doesn't
like,
sound like you do.
no, I really don't. But like you get into the story and you're like, oh, wait, what's happening here? Okay. So then you kind of settle in and you're like, okay, well, I guess it can't get worse than that.
Oh,
No, it does.
Never
It
think
finds a
that.
way.
Guy, never think that.
Yeah, it's
Oh my God.
it is beyond pitch black dark, man. It is, and every version of the game since then has been censored. The PSP version, the PS Vita version, the PS3 version have all been censored. They still kind of get the point across of this is what happened in the past to this character, without being so incredibly
Obvious.
Yeah, well, it's not even that it's obvious about it. It's that it forces you to see it from that character's perspective
Oh,
as they are
no,
going
that's
through
dark.
trauma.
Yeah, it's oof.
Yeah.
Oof. Anyway, other than that, my kid was like, "Hey, do we have a PS4?" And I was like, "Yeah, we have one." He's like, "Yeah, I remember playing it." He goes, "Why? Can we hook it back up?" And I'm like, "Yeah." The only reason it's not is because you wanted to play Wii U. I gave you a choice, and you're like, "Wii U's the best." He goes,
That was the correct choice. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
He goes, "Well, can we switch it out?" I was like, "Fuck yeah." So then I hopped on the PS4 and realized that I'm like in the middle of like the Uncharted series and a couple other games that just like stopped playing when we moved, I guess.
Yeah. Forgotten they ever existed.
Yeah, like I forgot how much shit that I had on the PS4.
Yeah.
It's
This is
you know
a-
it's all digital, so it's all still there, I
Ah.
guess. But for
That
now,
console has a lot.
Right. so yeah, but it's nice because I also bought Trails from Zero and Trails to Azure, I guess.
Nice.
I didn't intend to buy Trails to Azure, but I bought it first on accident. And I was like, God bless it.
Bought them in the wrong order. They
Yeah.
could put a fucking number on
They could,
all of them,
right?
You know.
It really
I
could.
also accidentally bought Azure before Zero, but this was before it was released in the US, so I had to buy it off of a sketchy Chinese digital PC website.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it till I booted it up, and it was like, "Do you want to know the story so far?" And I was like, "Wait, hold on."
I guess.
Do I?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, I just watched a bunch of story. Is it the same story? You're gonna recap like Trails in the Sky? That seems like a weird choice.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, no, it's no good. It's good. I'm excited to be playing PS4 games again,
Nice.
and it's I'm not playing PC games in my media room, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't have to go through like that extra step of making sure that
I have to deal with Moonlight and all that stuff, and
yeah, and like the
Yeah.
PC is like in the right thing because it's not
Right.
trying to power 5
Or you're not on
monitors
the
at
lock
once.
screen or
Right.
whatever. Yeah.
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 It's just a whole
Yeah.
slightly painful,
right,
you know,
yeah, it's a
annoying.
slight
I do the
annoyance.
same thing. I flip flop back and forth between like I'll just stream everything from my PC,
Yeah.
and man, I'm glad I don't have to be streaming stuff from my PC.
Yeah.
Like I go back and forth as well. So
Yeah.
Let's do some news.
Okay.
First up, Naoki Hamaguchi, director of Final Fantasy VII Remake, says that players should accept Switch 2 game key cards. Claims the issue is speed, not price, which I have heard echoed by some other developers saying that, hey, it is simply that the read write speed from the cartridge slot is not enough, not fast enough compared to the, whatever the fancy super
Well,
SD cards that it uses.
It does make sense for Final Fantasy VII Remake, because it's not like that game can run on a laptop with a 5400 RPM hard drive. Oh, wait, no, it can actually run on a laptop with a 5400
Right, but then they
RPM
gotta
hard drive.
optimize something,
I
and
know,
the companies
it's-
don't optimize it.
Yeah, they're too lazy. to
I'm
optimize these
What are you
things.
talking
I'm
about? They
s-
optimize their profits.
It's true,
yeah, that's something. I'm so fucking checked out. I'm not. Game key card is
Yeah,
a
that's-
full stop for me. So
yeah.
I keep thinking I'm like, it'd be cool to get a Switch 2 because all my Switch 1 games would run better, or a lot of them anyway. But then I'm like, but I'm never gonna buy any Switch 2 games that are game key card, which is kind of a lot of them that I would want.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Which is frustrating.
I tried a couple of game key cards when the system came out just to see how they run, and it's literally just it downloads the entire game from the store. And
it's hard because I've seen people go, it's the benefits of physical with the convenience of digital. And I'm like, no, it's
no, it's
kind of the worst parts of both of them
there's
too.
there's
though.
no convenience of digital because you still have to have the card in there.
Yeah, you got to put the fucking card in, and
The
also
only
when
benefit
the
you get
servers go
from it
down,
is-
you can't play your game.
Right.
I
The only
don't-
benefit you get is you can resell it, unlike
you
a
can
digital
resell
game.
it. Yeah. Although I wouldn't be surprised if some retailers start having rules about. I mean, they will eventually have to have them
Oh,
when
yeah.
they don't
When
work.
the shop goes down. Yeah.
And I could kind of see some gaming retailers being like, yeah, we don't want to take those because if they sit in our stock too long and Nintendo moves on to the Switch 3 or whatever and they shut it down, then all of a sudden we lost money.
Yeah. That's if they shut
um,
it down. I mean, they.
If, obviously, true, if
Yeah.
they shut it down like they have other multiple marketplaces
Right.
before.
But no,
It's-
everything lasts forever, always.
Oh yeah. Right.
You know, I was thinking about it the other day and I was like, to Sony and Microsoft's credit, I still have my 360 hooked up and I can still go download my shit. My PS3 can still download my shit. You
But
know,
you can't
like
buy shit anymore on the 360.
you can't buy stuff. I'm not saying that it's perfect, but
No.
I feel like they've done at least some effort to keep the stuff back up.
Yeah, they-
Nintendo's just like, yeah, Wii's gone, Wii U's gone, 3DS is just fucking gone.
Yep.
They're like, bye.
Yeah.
So of the three, I trust them the least.
Though
to keep
Microsoft
my
did
digital stuff.
kill off all of Games for Windows Live.
That's true. That was fortunately for them, we all fucking hated it so much
did.
that it was almost not terrible. Next
I
up.
just enjoyed your fucking Saturn saga of trying to like get a game key from an old
God.
Windows.
It
Live.
sucks so bad.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
EA has been sold to a private equity group for $55 billion.
Maybe they'll make good
Um,
games now, right?
Probably not going by the details of the private equity group that have purchased them.
Also, the purchase price, the $55 billion, that's quite a bit more than what it was trading at when they announced that. I think it was like 20% almost more, which is great for people who had stock in EA. You know,
sure.
good for you. But I am worried about what it means for the entire industry.
I have a lot of comments about this sale that I can't talk about on the show.
Same,
So
yeah.
we'll just leave it at that. It does not seem to be a good thing. We'll say that.
Right. Yeah. That is worrying.
The Capcom Cup Street Fighter 6 tournament will be streamed as pay-per-view. What are you fucking doing, Capcom?
We're bringing back pay-per-view, Justin.
What?
Well, it never went anywhere.
That's true. Yeah. For fans
Yeah,
of
I
wrestling
think
and
the
sports,
sports-
it's
yeah.
still there.
Don't
Wrestling,
call it a
porn,
comeback.
and some select sports still do pay-per-view. So
Yeah.
it's still a thing. GOG's 17th anniversary event included DRM-free releases of several recent games and more than a dozen classic games added to their preservation program, including several that hadn't gotten a release in decades. You love to see it.
Yeah.
I enjoy that GOG still seems to find it financially viable to be dedicated to
Right.
this cause, and I will continue championing it because at least I get to own the games I get from them.
One game that I picked up that was added to the new preservation program that had not been on there previously, that actually hasn't gotten a release in any way in more than 20 years, that you probably would not expect from me, was Mortal Kombat Trilogy. I was
Oh.
very excited to see it on there because that has
I
not gotten a
see.
release since its original release on PS1 and Saturn
Yeah.
and 64. And to have a functioning copy of it that works on modern PCs was nice. It's still kind of a garbage port, though. That's
Oh no.
unfortunate. But there was only so much they could do about that. It
Right.
does run better than the original PC release. It runs better than the PS1 release. So I am happy about that. It is a weird example of a game that I like that version of it, even if it's
even if it's still
still
not
Mortal
quite
Kombat
perfect.
trilogy.
Yeah. Sony was releasing a book chronicling the first 30 years of PlayStation, which I'm down for a cool
Yeah.
PlayStation coffee table book.
That's neat.
Except it costs $125. but hold on.
Yeah.
If you want, you can get the deluxe version for $325.
Do you want, Justin?
I don't want. I could buy 2 of those books or a PlayStation 5 Pro.
Yeah.
What am I going to fucking pick?
I don't know. Man. It's tough.
I mean, 2 books, obviously.
It's 2 things. Not to be outdone, LRG and Jeremy Parrish announced their own PlayStation 30-year retrospective hardcover for a much more reasonable $39.99.
Yeah.
I go in and out of how much I do and don't love Jeremy Parrish's work, but I will say I've owned some of his older books, and they were quite fun.
Yeah.
So just throwing.
And
that
that's
out
a much
there for
more
anybody
reasonable
that's-
price too. So
Yeah. $40 for a hardcover history book. That's right on the
if you're
money.
after a PS1 retrospective book, I'd probably lean that way just because of the price.
Look,
Yeah.
you get the $300 book, you hand it down your family, and then your great grandkids will sell it for like $500.
Generational wealth building.
Your great
right there.
grandkids will sell it for $8.
Also, the
half-price
one
books.
by Parrish is probably going to be honest, and the one by Sony is
Right.
probably just going to be a fluff fest.
Yeah.
So no thanks.
Again, different
open-
genre.
Open MWRC version 0.50.0 includes gamepad support and gamepad UI. I'm excited about this. I haven't got a chance to try it yet. But OpenMW is a wonderful way to play Morrowind. I'm very excited for them to add gamepad support because it's kind of one of my little niggling issues is, to me, I always played the game on Xbox, so that's the way it is in my head. And then going to PC, I'm like, this is weird. That's cool. I'm glad they did it.
I like to think that's the actual voice you speak in when you say that too.
Of course.
Power up a game, you're like, this is weird.
This is so strange. That's my normal, when I'm not on the show, that's
Oh,
my
yeah.
normal voice. If you ever
Here.
meet me in person, I'll be like, hi, I'm Justin.
Just imagine I come over to your house and you're doing that voice and your wife and your daughter are like, I don't know what happened to him. There's something wrong with him.
I like that you think you'll talk to people that are like, hey, are you Justin?
Oh, yeah, I would immediately be like, no, and run
No,
away.
this is weird.
Avalanche Studios, the makers of Just Cause, are closing down their Liverpool studio and laying off employees. That seems to be going around. That fucking
Yeah.
sucks. I like the Just
Yeah.
Cause games. They are fun. Although
I
they haven't made
don't-
one in a while.
I don't think they do Just Cause at Liverpool, though. I'd have to double check.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully Just Cause gets to live on, and hopefully
Yeah.
those people land on their feet. That's awful. Speaking of awful, Game Pass price changes. Price hike to $30 for Ultimate. PC console streaming now included on every tier, but day one releases are only on Ultimate.
Yeah.
You can no longer buy Game Pass with rewards points, but more rewards points will be made available on higher tiers. I read that correctly.
You did.
Discounts on DLC and in-game content are no longer available.
No.
And estimates say the inclusion of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and its DLC in Game Pass would have cost Microsoft as much as $300 million.
No, did
discounts
cost
are no-
as much as $300
Did, yeah,
million.
pardon me. Retrospectively has already cost them that much. Discounts no longer offered on all Game Pass games, and cloud gaming will be offered for free in a new ad-supported tier. So it's like Microsoft had this big pent-up and shitification load that they just shot all over us.
Yeah.
And so there you go.
For years we've been saying on the show, we're waiting for the other shoe to
Yes.
drop.
Yes.
And it did.
Absolutely.
And it
here
was a
is.
heavy shoe. And it was
Now,
all
I'll
at
be
once.
honest, there's a lot of cool stuff on Game Pass. It's probably still a decent service if you don't care about owning anything. You literally just want to get a cheap console with a Series S and maybe play some stuff, and you never care about owning or retaining anything, then maybe it's still kind of worth it. But
not
it's
for
not.
$360 a year. It's not.
But for a while, we were like, this is such a good deal. It feels dumb not to have Game
Right.
Pass.
Yeah,
And now it's like, I guess if you really have a use case, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's kinda it.
I can't justify the $360 a year for even the best use case, but it does include some Ubisoft classics now.
Gross.
Yeah. If I ever sign back up for it, because I did cancel it over this, If I ever
I canceled a while back.
if I ever sign back up, I'll get the base level cheapest package because that's enough for me. I don't need this $30 a month bullshit.
For a while, it was like, hey, the cool part about Xbox is you pay for Game Pass and you just get all of the Xbox shit. Everything
Right.
Microsoft owns and has, like, you just get it and you can play it and it's on their service. And all the Microsoft stuff and all the companies they buy, like all their stuff, just here it is on Game Pass.
Yeah.
And now they're scaling that back. And it's like, well, why
What's the
am I
point?
paying for this ultimate fucking tier then?
Yeah.
I think they stopped Games of the Gold a while back.
did, yeah.
They've been leeching value out of it, and now they really have just hammered it.
Yeah.
Not surprising, calls to boycott and cancel Game Pass have led to some tone-deaf responses from Microsoft.
Yep.
I assume they told everyone to get a second job, or
They said that it's a great
other
value
things.
now.
Oh, it's so while objectively making it a worse value, they're telling us that it's a better value.
Yeah, it's a better value because they added Ubisoft Classics.
Great.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm still subscribed to it because it includes the Fortnite thing that I was also subscribed to. So
Right. Yeah, they did add
Oh.
the Fortnite thing too.
right, so it's like
Oh.
$12 a month. It cuts out, so it kind of works out the same.
Yeah, I guess if you're a
So-
Fortnite subscriber, then it makes sense.
You can subscribe to Fortnite?
Yeah, it gives you all the game passes all the time.
What do you mean the game
Or not
pass?
game
Like the
passes. What
season
are they called?
passes.
Season passes.
Oh, okay. I hate everything.
Yep.
I just hate everything.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't talk
for
to you
game-
about it because you would just like fucking melt.
Look, man, I used to know someone who his kid played Roblox, and hearing him talk about that like gave me a fucking nosebleed. I was like, I'm gonna scream at everyone in the room. Like, I just can't. Yeah. 4 games in the Puzzle Quest series were delisted on multiple platforms, presumably because they came out with that new collection, which is a nice collection at a pretty decent price, but it sucks that the other Puzzle Quest games had to be delisted for it.
Also, the original 360 version was delisted, and that version included online multiplayer, which this new one does not.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
That's a fucking bummer. And finally, in more shitty news, Rock Band 4 was also delisted. Music DLC will be delisted in the order it was released. It's a 10-year thing, so as soon as the DLC hits 10 years, it gets yanked.
Yep.
I never owned or purchased any Rock Band stuff, but I know that there are people like you, Saturn,
Yep.
and Andrew, who were pretty big into Rock Band.
Yeah,
So.
I've got quite a bit. Now basically since Epic bought Harmonix, they're just trying to kill Rock Band as a brand. However, some ingenious fans have figured out how to hack Rock Band 3 on Xbox 360 to just add whatever music you want. So
that's cool.
I've just decided that's how I'm going to play the game going forward.
There you go. Which brings us to our topic at hand. All that shit falling apart in rapid succession. Which
Speaking
is
of shit falling apart,
Trails of Cold Steel 1 Part 3.
verse
is-
9, chapter
synopsis.
4.
Surely we've warmed up that steel by now. Nope, not yet. Happens next episode, all at once.
Yeah, kind of.
As far as scope, we did talk about this when we did our previous Cold Steel episodes. This is our kind of new format, so if you kind of want to know what's going on, we covered the first half of the story in the previous 2 episodes, and then this episode and next episode we are going to cover the back half of the story.
Yes.
So you can kind of listen along as you play along, or maybe you don't want to play the game, you're just going to listen, or I don't know. It does
You do
feel
you.
kind of weird to do a 4-part episode on something. This
Yeah.
is all new territory for
Right.
us, but
It gives us
We'll
more
see how it
time to
works
let
out.
the story breathe and not
yeah,
just try to
and
rush
I think a
through
story
it.
like this needs to breathe, especially when I think it tried to choke itself out at some points. So, anyway,
That's the only way
yeah,
it can get off.
I think you could get some enjoyment just listening to these story episodes, but maybe.
Thank you, Guy.
I was just thinking that's how David Carradine died. So
Oh my God, you guys! Christ alive! What is happening in here?
Don't make it an excess joke.
Initial thoughts
Uh-huh.
of where we are in the story. We're going to be picking it up around chapter 4. We'll do
Yes.
some recap stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not, you took me out of my headspace. I'm not in the right headspace now.
so sorry.
Fucking A, man.
Oh. Mhm.
So, as I mentioned on the show,
Yeah.
I did restart the game on PS4 right about this point in the story.
Yeah.
Really, I think it was near the midpoint or maybe near the end of chapter 4.
I think so.
I
Yeah.
think. So I was kind of going into this section of the story a bit annoyed, but still enjoying the game due to the marginally superior PS4 version.
Mhm.
But I didn't realize until I passed chapter 1 in my replay that the game has tons of hidden quests and objectives.
Yeah. Which we mentioned on episodes previously. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the previous Sky episodes
Yeah.
that I was barely paying attention to because I didn't play the games. I was just present. So I didn't realize that until after I'd finished chapter 1, and so I was kind of at this point in my playthrough a little deflated, a little tired. I've just repeated 3 chapters, and I did it in a day.
Mhm.
So it was a lot
Yeah.
of catch up and annoyance, and so I wasn't in a fantastic headspace for this section of the
fair.
story. But I've
But you did
muscled through
persevere.
and got to the new content. I did. I've completely finished the game.
Yeah.
Well, I've played through the game one time.
Yeah.
Is what I'll say.
Yeah, because there is some New Game Plus content in in Cold Steel 1, but it's relatively light. Cold Steel 2 has a very important, pivotal plot sequence that is locked behind New Game Plus. I recommend looking it up on YouTube after you finish the game.
Yeah, I will probably do that.
Yeah.
Because I'll be ready to move on to the Sky remake, which I'm excited about.
Nice.
What about y'all as far as initial thoughts going
no
into
thoughts.
the back half of the story? No thoughts. All right.
It's where it gets good, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'd say this is where the story it shows up for the game. It's like, hey, there is a story, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. I was wondering when you're going to do that.
right?
You
Yeah,
had a
like
couple
everything up
chapters
to
to
this
warm up.
point has been like sort of disparate, and I think this is kind of also where you catch up to the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, about here. Yeah.
Yeah, chapter 5, I
into
think,
this.
is where you hit the in media res part.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Which
so-
I assumed would be the end of the game, but no,
Yeah.
it is by a long shot not the end of the game.
No.
I did too. Yeah, when I got there, I was like, I
Yeah,
guess
this
they're only
is
doing
it.
half a year of school or whatever.
Right.
And it's like, never mind.
I guess I don't get to find
For
out
sure.
about that big festival they keep hammering on about.
Just Saturn, because you're going to be doing a lot of talking the rest of tonight,
Oh.
I'll do the recap to save you some breath.
I appreciate that.
So story so far: Reen and his friends / classmates are at Thor's Military Academy, which is a military boarding school in eastern Erebonia. Other nations in the realm seem very intimidated by the Erebonian Chancellor Gileath Osborne, the Iron Chancellor. Reen and the gang have special field studies once a month that sure seem an awful lot like bracer work if you're familiar with the Sky games or other Legend of Heroes games. And of course, that would be silly because the bracers were chased out of Erebonia, which is an important plot point.
Yeah.
Chapter 3 took our team to the Nord Highlands, a nature reserve in northeastern Erebonia where the local nomadic tribes keep an eye on the wind, along with Gaius. He's the head of the wind. He's in charge of the wind.
He's Captain
personally.
Wind.
While there, an attack on a watchtower in the bordering Calvard Republic was done, and it led to international tensions. With the help of a hyperactive magic girl and her giant robot puppet, the team learned that the attack wasn't from Erebonia, but a terrorist organization under the supervision of a man named Gideon. And after the team thwarts the terrorist plot, Milliam, the magic girl, leaves with Captain Lecter Arundel of the Erebonian Intelligence Division, and Reen and the kids return to school. So the plot had just barely showed up to the game 20 hours in last episode. Everything before that was mostly just character building between the characters.
Yeah, a little
And
bit
then
of
now
world
it's like-
building.
Little tiny bits here and there, just
Okay.
kind of introducing. Like I think Claire shows up. And they talk about the RMP and stuff.
They talk a little bit
Um,
about the conflict between the nobles and the commoners and
Yeah,
stuff like
you're
that.
you're aware of some class conflict.
Yeah.
You're aware of some international conflict, but none of it has happened.
Right.
You just know of it in a historical sense.
Yeah.
In chapter 3, it's like, hey, modern events will happen, and then it's done.
Yeah.
And then we come into chapter 4.
Yeah.
So Saturn, I'll let you take it away.
So this is where Reen's younger sister Elise shows up at Thor's to visit Reen. Reen is extremely overprotective of her, and also Patrick, who is a rival of Class 7, has the hots for Elise.
Patrick's so fucking annoying.
Yeah,
Like I know he's supposed to be, but God.
and I will say, like many annoying characters in this game, they become less annoying the further entries you get into the series.
Even by the end of this game, like you feel a little bit, you're like, all right, he's maybe not a total jackass. I mean,
Right.
he is a total jackass, but
Yeah.
There seems to be what I think the game wants to build as romantic tension between Reen and his sister here.
So Falcom
That's
has
reinforced-
this thing.
It's reinforced later by Princess Alphen,
Mhm.
and whether real or imagined, it feels really fucking strange and creepy.
Yes. So
And they never quite allude to it.
Right.
But there's just a couple of dialogue lines that you're like, wait, that's his sister, right? That's
So-
fucking.
So
go ahead.
Falcom has this thing where as long as one sibling is adopted, there will be some tension there.
Okay.
It's really gross, and I wish they
Wasn't
would
he
stop
adopted
it.
like as a child?
Yes, as a baby.
It's not like, she's 15 years old and then they adopted this 16-year-old. Like it's
Right,
they've been
right.
brother and sister since they were children.
Yeah. Well, Estelle and Joshua had been siblings since they were like 6 or 7 or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And they also have the same tension. So, it's just a weird, creepy Falcom thing that they need to stop.
That's fucking odd. Because I like later on in the game, it's for sure like Princess Alphen is making jokes about it.
Yes.
And it's so subtle. I'm hoping that it's subtle because of the translation and they toned it down.
It is, yes.
But it's so subtle when it's not Princess Alphen that you're like, is Princess Alphen just kind of like fucking picking on her? But
When
there's a couple lines from Elise that it's like, that seems weird.
Cold Steel 3 and 4 were translated by NIS, who were a little more faithful to the original Japanese, and it becomes pretty clear that I think it was toned down in these earlier ones.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Well,
that's gross.
there you go. Go ahead.
Okay, so Elise finds herself in danger, and when she is at risk of getting hurt, Reen unlocks some weird hidden power that he has
He goes
to try
Super
to save
Saiyan.
her. Yeah, he goes
Yeah.
berserk, and then he loses control of himself, and then Crow shows up, the resident slacker, and he saves Reen and helps him save Elise.
Yeah. The story was kind of dragging for me at this point. I'm glad that this weirdness
Mhm.
popped up because this was in my playthrough. I was like, oh, okay, come on, do something, game, do anything.
Yeah.
And so this was well timed for me.
I like Crow quickly becomes a favorite for me. Like from the
Yeah.
time he's
Yeah.
introduced to, well, really all of this that happens where he becomes more and more central to things that are going on. He's just a fun character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Crow's great.
Oh yeah.
So they have their field study for the month, and both groups of the class are going to the same location this time. So they're going to the Imperial capital city of Heimdall, and they still split up into 2 groups to cover more territory. So we've still got Group A, Group B.
Yeah, I liked the Heimdall section. Traveling around was interesting enough, and having such a large section to zone was kind of cool after the wide openness of Gaius' homeland.
Yeah.
One thing they do good in the game is each zone successively is just kind of different to navigate.
Yeah.
Which keeps it from feeling too samey when really it is kind of samey. Like the game very much cycles the same gameplay loop 4 or 5 or 6 times and then goes, now let's do weird shit.
Yeah.
So I appreciated Heimdall. It was
Yeah.
cool.
And I like the tone and the music and everything from Heimdall as well.
Yeah, for sure.
This is also where Laura and Fee's feud hits a boiling point, and the two decide to settle their differences via combat with bladed weapons, which is what children should do. And then immediately they become best friends afterwards.
So this is built up for hours that Laura and Fee are feuding. You never see the feud begin. They just all of a sudden people are like they're mad at each other, and you're like, it never becomes clear what the beef is. Even when they explain it, I still was like, I'm sorry, why were you upset with each other?
My best guess is it's because Laura is very prim and polite, and Fee is very laissez-faire about everything, and I think that's what caused the conflict.
It also seems to be related to like Laura is upset that Fee isn't trying hard enough.
Yeah.
I was really hoping for a deeper conflict, like maybe the Jaegers attacked Laura's homeland or something, like something kind of more complex, but it's just sort of a nothing burger to create something to do story-wise,
Yeah.
and it felt a little weird.
Right.
But,
I like Fee. I like how zero
She's pretty
fucks
great.
she gives about everything, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And specifically in this, where her attitude is generally, I mean, I'll fight you if you want to die.
Yeah,
Like, it's fine.
That's basically Fee's entire personality.
Yeah, and they do have an entire duel in the park of all places.
Yeah.
And I think later on in the story, they're like, we could have just dueled in that dungeon we just left that was right next to the park. And someone's like, yeah, that would have been way fucking smarter. I'm like, good job.
Yeah.
Good job, game.
Right.
Anyway.
So Fee reveals that she wasn't just a former Jaeger, but a member of Zephyr, which is a notorious and dangerous Jaeger corps, which is known throughout the land for basically starting wars. Our group, Group A, is tasked with recovering a stolen object from Phantom Thief B, which is a recurring bit throughout the Trails games.
Yeah, I kept assuming this was some kind of recurring bit or recurring character or something. Yeah. It's a little out of left field.
Yeah, Phantom Thief B is an annoyance regularly. He just steals shit, leaves clues, and then returns his shit as soon as somebody figures out his puzzle because he's an asshole.
Yeah.
And so then they get to go to Elisa's school, where they are brought into a meeting with Princess Alphen and Prince Oliver of the Imperial Royal Family. And this is where some of the story picks up. So you got Oliver, who is a returning character from previous games, but we won't talk about that because it's kind of a spoiler for those previous games.
Yes, please. Thank you.
He explains that he is a member of Thor's board of directors and was personally responsible for organizing Class 7, though he fears that the other members of the board, which is Elisa's mother, Machias's father, and Chancellor Osborne, I think.
Is Osborne actually on the council?
I remember it was
He's not.
I remember it was Arena and the governor, but I don't remember who the third person was.
Van Dyke is there, but he's just the
principal.
whatever, he's just the like mediary
Right.
in the thing. Who was the fucking fourth person? Oh, goddamn. It's right there. It was Rufus.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's Eustace's brother, right?
Yeah, Eustace's brother, Rufus.
There we go.
Yeah, he's the fourth member. He's like interchangeable with Princess Alphen, just like they're both sort of like blonde haired, like flippant sort of dudes, and so they kind of I mix them up.
Rufus will have a lot more story later. In this game, he didn't get much story.
Not really, no.
But yeah, so Olivert is worried that these other board members have ulterior motives for the kids.
Right, and of course they do, pretty obviously. Right. So, yeah. Guy, did you have something here?
Oh yeah. Well, it's one of the reasons that I want to replay Cold Steel, and like the other day I was complaining to Justin that he needs to slow down and take breaks.
Yeah, I was like, I played one game. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, it's because I want to play Cold Steel, so technically you're a game ahead of me, right? Like to a certain extent. So, because I'm going to get there eventually, but part of it
you're
is
still several games ahead because he still has to play all of Sky.
Yeah, you're like 5 games ahead of me.
Right, but I need that head start. Right, he has no job, so
my job is Cold Steel.
Right. I was going to say you have no responsibilities, but that just sounded mean.
Yeah, he has a lot of responsibilities.
There's lines somewhere in there.
But yeah, no, but like knowing Olivert's like motives and like his backstory that is part of other games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And other little Easter eggs they may or may not have put in that I didn't notice the first time, right?
My favorite Easter egg, which I will spoil because it doesn't mean anything story wise, is Anton. And I don't know if you found him, Justin, or if you recognized him at all, but there's this dude, Anton. He's got a optional side quest in almost every game in the series, except for Sky the Third, I think, where he shows up in whatever country you happen to be in that game. And he's lovesick and trying to find a partner, and he pays your group to help him hook up with some woman who is plot relevant.
I don't know. I might have. It sounds vaguely familiar, but also in doing a lot of the hidden side quests, a lot of them are just kind of bullshitty, and I sped through a lot of the dialogue, so it's possible I did, but was barely paying attention.
His love interest in the Cold Steel games is Sharon. He has the hots for Sharon, and he wants you to hook him up with Sharon. And I don't remember if that actually happens in Cold Steel 1 or 2. Doesn't matter, because again, it's not plot relevant. But,
I remember there were like love related stories, but
Yeah.
that one doesn't specifically ring a bell. But again,
in the first Sky game, he is he falls in love with the receptionist at the Bracer Guild in the first town, and ends up having to challenge her to a drinking contest, and it's stupid as hell. But it's he's my favorite recurring gag. But yeah, so
surprisingly, a lot of drinking contests
there are
in these games.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of heavy drinkers in these games as well.
Yeah.
And mostly women.
There's a lot of shit going on in these games, so
It's
I don't know,
also true.
man. I might need a drink too after some of the
Right.
fucking shit that happens.
That's fair. So yeah, Oliver, like we kind of hinted at a little bit, he does, if you've played the Sky games, you know that he has an appreciation for the Bracer Guild, and that it seems to be the direction he is steering Class 7, whereas the other people from the board of directors, he's not sure about what they're doing. This is also where we learn, I think, that Sarah was a former Bracer. It was probably hinted at prior.
I think it's either I assumed it,
Yeah.
because I've played 15 or 20 hours of Sky 1, like I know of the Bracers,
Right.
So like I can't remember if I assumed it or if it was hinted at or if it was said before now.
And
But
it may have
becomes
been
very
said
much
before,
like
and they might have
more
just not
relevant.
said what rank Bracer she was until this point or something, but I do remember them
Yeah.
making a point about it at this point.
yeah, for sure.
This is also where Captain Claire comes back from the Railway Military Police, and she asks the team for help with preparing for a festival that's going on in Heimdall. And then as they are helping Claire with the festival, Princess Elfin is kidnapped. And rather than all of the military going to rescue the Imperial Princess, these 5 teenagers do it.
Well, the military is kind of spread around, and the teenagers happen to be there. It was also Elise was kidnapped as well.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Elise was
So
also
it was Alphen
kidnapped,
and
so-
Elise, and then Machias' dad, Governor Regnitz, was
Right.
like attacked by him, and then they ran off, and you fight a couple lizards, and then you go and retrieve them
Right.
from the terrorists that have kidnapped them.
Yeah, the terrorists that these teenagers are going to go stop.
Yeah.
And so when you get there, you got the terrorist there, Gideon, who is insisting on calling himself G for some reason.
Right. Suffer like G did.
Yeah, so that you can suffer
Okay.
like G did. And then his fellow terrorists, VS and their leader, C, are all there. And
Not
the
a
students-
vowel among them.
Yeah, no. Just they're the consonant terrorists. That's their theme. And so the students defeat an undead dragon, and then Reen gets his ass kicked in a one-on-one with C.
Yeah. This was a cool boss fight. I liked
Yeah.
the big skeleton dragon boss fight. I thought it was neat. I thought it was a cool showdown. You get to see everyone all at once. Like
Yep,
this was
yep.
a fun segment. You know, I enjoyed it.
Also, it's the ramping tension. They do a good job
Yeah,
with that.
for sure.
The terrorists call themselves the Imperial Liberation Front, and then they run off. And
Right.
the students are thanked by the royal family. Also, Governor Regnitz thanks them, and then Chancellor Osborne shows up and says some like encouragement words. He doesn't seem to openly thank them or anything because he's supposed to be intimidating.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's after this section. I think it's a little kind of vignette between chapters 4 and 5 where you see the ILF members kind of like waxing philosophical about stuff. Mostly Gideon, but
Yeah.
it's all just like broad strokes, radical discussion, and never anything too deep. Of
Right.
just like, there are moments where I'm like, I'm not even sure who you're against or for. Because your dialogue is so broad, it's
Yeah.
just like we need to give the power back where it belongs, and you're like, yes, I think I don't know, I don't know if I agree with you or not.
I don't disagree with that concept. I don't know what you're talking about.
Where is the power going from and then to? I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure they're just against Osborne, which a lot of people in the world of Cold Steel seem to be against Osborne in general.
Seems to be it, but
Yeah.
then it's like they're fighting for the nobles, but then
So Osborne is also opposed to the nobles
right. Yeah, I get that
because he was
part.
the first ever chancellor that wasn't nobility.
And I mean, this is kind of spoiling later story, but you're here. You're already this far into the
Right.
episode. We find out that the ILF is like specifically teaming up with the nobles later on.
Right.
but I don't know. It's all very weird.
Yeah.
It's very weird, and it's kind of hard to figure out what the fuck their motivations are. And they're sort of like super broad and vague for most all of the game.
Yeah, I think they really just needed a drop-in villain.
I think so. Yeah.
yeah.
But that all dovetails into chapter 5.
Yes. So we learn that the noble students at Thor's usually go home for the summer, leaving all the commoners to keep, working and being
doing
students.
commoner shit. Yeah.
Apparently, you don't have to study in the summer if you have money.
Right.
But the nobles in class
the bourgeoisie get to go home.
Right. Yeah.
Us proletariats stay here and work.
Right. So the nobles in class 7 decide they're going to stick around, which I guess is supposed to make us feel better about their role in the class warfare.
Yeah, it's they kind of chalk it up as like it's kind of dumb that we all get to go home. And it's sort of an antiquated idea of nobles need to learn about their homelands too, because they'll need to go back there and run things.
Yeah.
So like it makes sense in the story. It's just kind of weird. You do get a summer uniform change though.
It's true.
So
You get short sleeves.
short sleeves all around.
Yep.
I think I immediately changed back as soon as I
Oh
could.
no!
Me too,
I kept the summer outfits.
No,
I
I
also
didn't.
put the ride along mishies and stuff on my characters and bunny ears and sunglasses and shit. My guys
Did
all
you-
look ridiculous.
Did you use any of the speech bubbles? Those were pretty fun.
No, the what?
Oh yeah, I've maybe that's in Cold Steel 3 where one of the headgear options you can unlock is a speech bubble that just says something stupid, so that your guy is walking around in every cutscene with a giant speech bubble over his head.
In Cold Steel 1, because I've just barely started Cold Steel 2, so no spoilers for it,
Yeah.
but you can equip more cosmetic gear. It lets you put on like 2 cosmetic
Yes.
things, so you can have like a ride-along Mishi, and there's an evil ride-along Mishi, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, and bunny ears, and sunglasses. I'm so cool.
Nice.
Yeah, all my guys look ridiculous. Every
Excellent.
screenshot that I have is Reen in the bunny costume.
Nice.
So, Anyway.
This is also where Sarah informs the kids that Class 7 now has 2 new class members. We have Crow, the slacker, who flunked and was pushed back into the same year as Class 7. And we have Milliam, the magic girl, is also now a student and not just a weird special agent of the Intelligence Division. But also she is still a special agent of the Intelligence Division, and she can't keep a secret, so she immediately tells everyone that she is still a special agent of the Intelligence Division.
This was so fucking out of left field.
Mhm.
But I will say it was a welcome change to the character roster.
Yeah.
Because it happens at like the 20 to 30-ish hour mark.
Mhm.
And so I was just kind of settling into my preferred party, and then I get 2 new sets of like mechanics and abilities and stuff to play with, which is neat. And Crow immediately became a mainstay. I loved him in my party. He was fantastic. Because he had that big, that real cheap craft that would freeze everything.
Yeah, his
And it was like
crafts and
AoE
his
is
crafts
fantastic.
are fantastic.
Yeah, it was great. So it was fucking weird. It was weird and it made no sense, but I was like, that's fine, cool, more characters. Why not? Why the fuck not? This is fine. Yeah.
I will say, the voice actor for Reen, Sean Chiplock, he is a fan of the game, and a lot of the sequences that are not voiced in game, he has gone back and read them and saved them on his Tumblr page. And there's some really stupid like internal monologue things that Reen says throughout the game, including some conversations with Crow, and they are on his page, and it's fantastic.
That's funny.
So we get to the field study. Reen's group is sent to Laura's hometown of Legram for their field study. They get to meet up with Toval, who is a bracer and a friend of Sarah's, as well as Viscount Arsaid, who is Laura's father.
He's one of those, Toval specifically, is one of those characters that like I can tell is probably going to be more important later or was important previously.
Not really. I don't think he was introduced before this. He does come back.
He shows up. He shows up before this in Heimdall.
Yeah, briefly.
I think somewhere.
And then I think it was in Breahard. No, it wasn't Heimdall, because it was when you were dealing with Phantom Thief B is when you first meet him.
Yeah, so they keep popping him up like he's supposed to do something, and he never does do anything.
Yeah, he becomes a little more important in Cold Steel 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Laura's father has a one-on-one duel with Reen and convinces him not to fear whatever the strange power he has that emerged when he was defending Elise.
Because he's a Saiyan.
Yeah.
Is this all like a puberty allegory?
Yeah, it's all about puberties.
I never thought about it that way. I'm gonna say
I didn't until just now. So
I want to make so many jokes about spoiling next episode about your thing. I can't. I'm not gonna. I won't.
So the series tends to refer to it as his ogre power.
Oh, that's a stupid thing to call it.
Yeah. Throughout all the later games on Cold Steel, they just Reen using his ogre power, which is a weird way to call it. But
he doesn't turn into an ogre.
It's the sound he makes when he's charging up or whatever. So, ogre.
Nice.
Beautiful. Anyway,
mm-hmm.
This is the Haunted Castle section.
Yes.
in Legram. I really liked this town. I thought
Me
it was
too.
cool. I liked this section. I liked the Haunted Castle. It was really
Same.
cool.
Yeah.
And the game gets more like witchy and magic-y, and you get to see Emma really shine, which they've kind of hinted that like, hey, something's going on with her, but we don't really know what. So her mysterious origins kind of pop up before now.
Yeah.
But this being all magic-y, she gets to kind of guide the party through things.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed this a lot. I did miss a chest in the castle, so I had to go back and do it a second time. And the boss fight sucks. But I thought the Legram was cool. I thought the castle was cool, and I thought getting finally getting a little more insight into Emma's background was cool. So that was nice.
Yeah.
Which boss fight was that?
It was like the big Grim Reaper looking guy. He's one of those bosses that like will suck one of your characters up inside of him.
I
and
died
you don't
so
have
many
them.
times to that boss.
Yeah, and so eventually what I put on was the big cross art on Emma because he spawns a bunch of ads. It's called like cross something.
Yeah.
And it does the whole arena. It's one of the first arts you get that covers the entire arena no matter what. And so that's what carried me through that battle was that thing.
Yeah, like in those fights, I always end up like, please just suck up the least useful one. Quit taking my healers.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And it does seem to be random because I ended up fighting him, I think 7 or 8 times between my 2 playthroughs.
Yeah, I remember also leaning on Emma's magic for that fight, and then he would always grab Emma.
Pick her. Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I always like try to figure out, is it a system where he eats the one that you're using the most? You know,
Right.
is it like
Yeah.
just mean?
As far as I could tell, it's just random.
Yeah, it's just
you
random
grab
but
Gaius
bad
a
luck.
bunch, and Gaius is useless, and I don't like
let
using
him.
him.
Let him
so.
take Gaius. Yeah, so afterwards you leave Legram, you meet up with the rest of Class 7 at Grellia Fortress, which
this was a location change chapter.
Yes. So you midway through the chapter, you go to Grellia. This is the military base on the border with the independent city-state of Crossbell, which is between Erebonia and Calvard. This is also the in media res moment, because this is where we were in the prologue at the very beginning of the game.
So we know, the viewer of the story knows that the railway guns are going to be attempted to be fired at something, and it will be bad.
Yes, and this is also on the way to Grellia. You see another train going the other direction going the same direction towards Crossbell, and on board is Chancellor Osborne, Prince Olivert, and Toa. Our friend Toa is just chilling with these guys going to Crossbell. But don't worry about that. That's a problem for Trails from Zero. Let them figure that out. Or Trails to Azure. Let them figure that out. That's in Crossbell.
There's also a moment where like they make a point that Reen is able to see everyone clearly on this high-speed train, like he has some sort of special power.
Yeah.
And multiple characters have to comment on it, and you're like, is this the ogre power thing, or is they just trying to? What are they trying to imply about Reen here?
It is his magic ogre power mixed with his training with the katana blade school lets him see
8
that.
leaves. 8 leaves.
But first he has to like hold the sword of Omen up to his eyes.
Right.
Yeah, he has to ask for sight beyond sight.
I thought Grellia was pretty cool.
Yes.
It's not a very super long section, but I like that you get to meet Elliot's dad.
Yeah.
Who they really play up as this like really stern general guy, but he's just this big teddy bear
Yeah,
that's
he's
like,
super
I love you,
boisterous
Elliot. Wants to give him hugs, and he's all embarrassed. So I thought that was fun.
Was it Elliot's sister there, or was she in the capital or something?
She was in Heimdall.
Okay.
and so you stay at Elliot. You don't stay at Elliot's house. You stay at the old Bracer Guild, but
Right.
you pop in and see her, and Elliot's just perpetually embarrassed that his sister loves him.
Yeah,
which is,
yeah. Like his whole
I think there's a
family
little-
loves him, and he's very
there's a
embarrassed
weird-
by it.
Anytime anyone shows any affection, I think it's kind of a maybe a cultural Japan thing, or
Mhm.
maybe just a Legend of Heroes thing
I
or
don't know.
something. But anytime anyone's showed affection, they have to be embarrassed and upset about it.
Yeah.
At all times, no matter which characters it's between.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, it's like your sister and
Right.
your dad and stuff. Like they're allowed to like hug you and say they love you. Like this is
Right.
very normal things.
Yeah.
But Elliot in particular was his was always very funny.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They really doted on him.
But yeah, then the terrorists show up, and
Yeah.
and they attack. First, you find out that they are attacking Crossbell. Then you find out they're attacking Gorelia Fortress, and they are trying to fire the cannons at
Yes.
Crossbell, and then our students, of course, even though this is a military base populated with military, it is our students that
Yeah, they do
save
it.
the
They
day.
stop it. It's where they're trying to hit the trade conference or whatever.
Yeah.
And what's this was the stupidest part.
Mhm.
They fire the cannons.
Yes.
And everyone's like, "Oh no!" And I'm like, "Oh fucking shit! This is it, man! They blew up Crossbell. Like everything's fucked. All those characters are dead." And I'm just like, my mind is reeling. And they go, "Oh, but nothing happened."
Yeah.
And then someone else was like, "What if they have a fake round in there, so that if anyone fires it, the first round is a fake one?" And that is the story explanation. What the fuck kind of fucking cannons do they put one fake bullet into?
Well,
Just in case we accidentally shoot our doomsday weapon. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
it's the
yeah.
standard operating procedure safety blank.
I don't think that's a thing, man. I think when you have weapons, you want them to fucking work and hurt something when you want them to. That's the point of them. I just don't.
So this part of the
It's
game,
like, oh, we fired our practice nuke, so get ready for the real one. Like,
this part of the game takes place simultaneously with one of the Crossbell games, and I can't remember if it's Zero and Azure, but you see the same event from the Crossbell side in that game, and so
Yeah.
you already know that they don't blow up Crossbell going into this,
right? Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. It was just very. I was like, that's your It couldn't just be like maybe it was a malfunction, or maybe, or at the very least, maybe there wasn't a round loaded,
Yeah.
and they just hit the fire button hoping there was. That would make more
Right.
sense
Yeah.
than, well, what if it had a fake round? And like, what? Who's fucking
That's,
making
that's
fucking
what you
blanks
do.
for railway guns? Like the whole point is it's a doomsday weapon.
maybe
Like,
it's just a really shitty Doomsday weapon, and we didn't know.
We never see him operate. I
Right.
kind of am wondering if maybe they don't
Yeah.
fucking work at
No,
all.
They don't work.
Anyway,
So yeah, so you defeat the terrorists. They escape to their airship. You hear C, the leader of the terrorists, give you this
Yep.
ominous warning, and then they fly off. And then that's the end of that chapter. Then we go into chapter 6. This is where the Thor's board of directors have their meeting. They determine whether or not the field study should continue because that last one was way too dangerous at Gorelia. And then Oliver gives a speech, and they're like, "Okay, no, it's fine. Let's keep putting the kids in danger."
yeah, no, we'll put the kids directly
Yeah.
in the middle of military danger.
Yep.
This is great.
So the Fall Festival is coming up. They've been hyping it up for a while. For some reason, our students, our Class 7 kids, decide they're going to put on a music performance. They all magically know how to sing and play instruments now.
They hype up this fucking fall festival for so many hours.
Yes.
And I skipped so much fucking dialogue. of
Yeah.
just fall festival. I don't fucking care.
It's just a bunch of teen drama bullshit.
And they're just what gets me is they're just repeating, oh, fall festival's going to happen. Here comes the fall festival. You ready for the fall festival? You got to prepare for the fall festival.
Yep.
I get it, man. Give me some new information about the fall festival.
Right.
Like,
The thing is I was playing this, every time they'd start talking about the Fall Festival, I'd be like, but what about the terrorists? There are fucking terrorists.
shut up about that. There's a fall festival.
Right. So yeah, they decide they're going to put on their concert. So before they can leave, first they have to do their field study. Before they can leave for their field study, a big ass airship lands in the Academy Sports Field, and Viscount Arsaid is there. And he is now the captain of this airship, and his daughter has no idea. And also Toval is there, and he is the first mate of the airship. And also Prince Olvert is there because he owns the airship.
The fucking dream team.
And the three of them are like, all right, we're going to chauffeur you guys to your field study. And
I don't. They explain how those three ended up there, but it's like what a weird.
Yeah.
This makes who paid for they imply Oliver paid for the
Oliver
ship, I
paid
guess,
for
but-
everything, and they explain how all this happens in Cold Steel 2. All that is explained in another game.
because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So they decide they're going to take him to their field study, which is in Ruhr, which is the home of the Reinford Group. That's Elisa's hometown. And the Reinford Group is the arms manufacturer, which is run by Elisa's mother.
Yeah.
So you get to Ruhr, and the provincial army tries to start a fight with the railway military police. The provincial army being run by the nobles, the military police being run by the federal government, the imperial government. And just as the tension is coming to a head, Captain Claire and Eustace's brother Rufus show up and tell them to stop fighting. Reen is asked to meet Claire alone at a local bar, and they make a big deal about this espionage that he's doing with Claire. And then Fee shows up and tags along because he apparently is not sneaky enough for her.
I do like that afterwards, everyone finds out.
Oh, yeah,
that
immediately.
He snuck out at night. But there's this whole thing of like, is Reen secretly in love with Claire?
Yeah. And
That
he
I
does
thought
not
was
seem
pretty
to be.
funny. Yeah. I enjoyed that. I thought that was pretty silly.
Also is
Yeah.
like clandestine and sneaky as this whole meeting is. I don't remember anything of import being discussed there.
I don't even really remember what she was revealing. I
Right.
want to say it was about the ILF, but I don't even remember what it was. You know what I think it was? I think it was her revealing that the ILF is working either with or for the nobles.
Oh, okay, yeah, that might be it. She might have been
I think
talking
and I
about
might be
the connection
misremembering.
there.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah. So also she does mention that she thinks that the terrorists are going to get their hands on some weapons from the Reinford Group while they're in town. So to keep an eye on that. Anyway, the terrorists take over the local iron mine. The provincial army tries to get in there to stop them, and the railway military police keep stopping the provincial army from getting in there. And then Angelica shows up, our aggressively lesbian friend from the previous episode. She shows up with her friend George that I completely forgot to mention in the last episode. George is important. He's a dude. He's
he is.
the tech
He's
guy.
the engineer guy.
Yeah.
He's the Donatello of the group.
Yeah.
The way he
He
said
does
that sounded
machines.
like he's important because he's a dude.
No, he is important and also happens to be a dude.
Yeah, him being a dude is basically his entire personality for the first two games.
Yeah.
But he seems like a super nice guy, and he'll get a story later. It's fine. So Angelica and George show up. Angelica's father is the local duke in Ruhr, and she fears that he is involved with the terrorists. And Elisa's mother helps the students sneak into the mine via an underground passage. They save the hostages. When they get there, Crow is like, "No, I'll take the hostages out to the surface. Don't worry about it. You guys keep going. You keep fighting the terrorists."
Which was annoying because Crow's always in my fucking party.
Right. So then the students face off against Vulcan, the V from the terrorist organization, and then they're confronted by the terrorist leader, C, and then they defeat him, but he takes off in his airship, which then explodes. And then the RMP and
it doesn't just explode. We see a cutaway, and it is shot by one sniper rifle that causes the whole ship to explode, and everyone goes, "He must be dead for good."
Yeah, well, they hit a load-bearing beam inside of the ship.
Yeah, it was the pure oxygen that was in the...
Yeah.
Well, the ship was part of the Crash Dummies line of toys, and so they hit it right on the little point, and it sprang and
it just
exploded apart.
Yeah.
With real damage.
This whole section, like, one, I don't give a shit about Elisa at all. I don't like her as a character. She annoys me.
Yeah.
I liked the Claire moments near the end. I think Ruhr was kind of a boring zone, especially after how cool Guerrilla Fortress and Legram are.
Yeah.
But also, it got to a point where I kept like being kind of confused. Like, all right, there's the provincial army, but then there's these people and the people that work there, and then there's people that work for the company, and there's other people that work for the company, but they're loyal to these other people, and they're mad at these people, and so then the terrorists screw up, and then there's so many different like
Yeah.
factions
There's a
within factions.
A lot of overlapping factions right here.
They eventually show you a fucking chart
Yep.
of factions inside of another faction, and I'm like, "Are we serious right now? Who do I not like? Just tell me that,
Yeah.
and I'll go get him with a sword. That's what I'm here to do."
That's one of the things I like about Cold Steel specifically, this arc, is it shows you that there are a lot of shades of gray, that there isn't just necessarily a bad guy. You can agree with some principles of this group and this group and realize that they're all kind of assholes sometimes. And I appreciate that.
I like at some point I just had to be like, I'm not going to understand what is happening, but I know who I think are the good guys,
Yeah.
which is like us. Claire seems okay. Sarah seems okay. Everyone else, I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of where I ended on this chapter. I did like that when they're all they're ribbing Reen for like being out with Claire, and they're like, "Oh, are you into older women?" Which I think Claire's like
3 years older or some shit.
Yeah, they mentioned it later on. I think she's 3 or 4 years his senior.
Yeah.
But even Machias is like making jokes and has to apologize for himself. So I thought that was funny.
I do appreciate that even Machias can throw some shade there because he's usually the straight-laced guy.
Yeah.
But no, it's this is kind of where things are starting to come to a head, but it still feels like nothing has happened yet.
Well, it feels like it's like stuff has happened.
Yeah.
But like you're not sure which part of it is the main narrative because immediately things begin happening and the whole narrative gets so complicated with so many factions all at once that you're like, all right, well, which one am I participating in?
Right.
Because you know,
you're participating in the military academy as a student, which means you have
I
to
guess
fight
we're kind of
terrorists.
we're kind of getting into final thoughts, guy.
Yeah.
Did you have anything on chapter 6 before we kind of got into final thoughts?
No, not really.
I do want to say I really like Ruhr as a city. I like the whole tech aspect of it. And Elisa isn't my favorite character, but I'll deal with her. But I do like Ruhr as a city, and I like how everything is orbital, and that's really neat.
I would like Elisa more if she wasn't so fucking mean to Sharon. Like if it was just Elisa's mom being an ass to her all the time, you'd be like, yeah, fuck Irina. Elisa's right. But then Sharon shows up and Elisa's like, fuck you, Sharon. And you're like, you better watch your mouth, okay? Because that lady is taking care of you. Like you immediately,
Sharon immediately becomes one of my favorite characters in the entire franchise from the second she arrives.
Yeah. I wanted to point out, you put in the notes, to be continued, are we really milking 4 episodes out of this? I want to put in a note, a grand total of roughly 2 to 3 hours of discussion of a 50-plus hour game is not milking it, Saturn. Not milking it at all.
Can you imagine if we had tried to squeeze all the story into one episode?
It would have been miserable. I don't know how y'all did on those 2 Sky episodes. Holy shit, man.
It was not much breathing.
Yeah, we didn't go into any kind of detail at all.
Yeah, we skipped so much.
As far as and even in here, we're skipping a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But, as far as final thoughts, 4 through 6 are interesting enough. They're nothing groundbreaking. I thought Garelio was pretty cool, but kind of bland. The combat and dungeon sections, which we didn't even talk about, were at all. They're engaging enough. The missions are engaging enough. It's kind of all the same stuff. It's these cycles of go to this dungeon, run through it, now do some side quests that involve killing some monsters and collecting some items, then go to this next dungeon.
Right.
It's pretty paint by numbers in that regard. But I enjoyed the combat. Throwing in Crow and Millium in the back half meant that I had new characters to unlock stuff on and do different loadouts and different,
Also, Millium is just crazy powerful.
She felt that way at the beginning. By the end of the game, I could barely use her because she wasn't effective enough for me. And so I don't know. And I ended the game at low 60s levels.
Had you been upgrading her weapons?
No, I didn't upgrade anybody's weapons. And after Heimdall, didn't buy any gear either.
Wow.
Well, that's not true. I think I did at a couple points, and then right there at the end, I bought what I could and upgraded what I could. But yeah, so I don't know.
That's such a different way to play.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, like, because I was gonna say, and I just didn't know really where to put it, but like, I enjoy that with all the side quests and stuff like that. If you do all that, there really is no need to grind, right?
Right, yeah.
Not really, no. No, not really.
And I kind of appreciate that. Like, it felt like It really in all the Legend of Heroes games, like the pace of the game and the speed with which you level up to like where you're kind of quote unquote supposed to be is real nice.
And also because the experience scales, you can't easily get over leveled because eventually the amount of experience you'll get will just taper off, and that'll kind of tell you where you should be so that you know what range of levels you should be at.
Yeah, you get to this point where like it's like it's not worth it. Like in the Sky games, you know, you're like, oh, it's not worth it. In the Cold Steel games, like the things run away from you. That's nice.
I did find the PS4 version of the game dramatically easier than the PC port. Part of it was because the fast forward works properly in the PS4 version.
Yeah.
So when you're on turbo mode, enemies, it toggles, but then also enemies still move at normal speed.
Right.
In the PC version, when you have turbo on, which is all the time because the game is like running through molasses or something, the enemies go so fast that you can never get the advantage in combat with them. So it made combat way harder. But also, even if you are like leveling up and doing everything, like the bosses are still just kind of bullshit. They're not bullshit because they're higher level. They're bullshit because they do bullshit things.
They're kind of cheap, yeah.
And so there were a few bosses where like I just sat there and mashed the A button and stared at my phone until I had weakened them a few times by dying and restarting.
Yeah.
But all this to say that I still found the combat fun.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed it all the way through to the end. And it feels very weird that we have a whole nother chapter to talk about next episode.
Yeah.
Which is the final chapter. Yeah. And it is going to eat the whole rest of our time here with Cold Steel.
Much like it eats the rest of your brain. So
it's man, for people, I'll say this, for anyone in the future that has maybe played through the game and listened to these episodes as you played through the games, fuck it, if you're like, I don't know, I'm getting kind of bored at the end of chapter 6, maybe I won't fucking do it.
Keep going.
Man, strap the fuck in and get ready. Man.
Yeah, like I feel like up to this point, it's very much like, oh, this is an all right game, you know.
It's
I
fun
get what
JRPG.
it's trying to do.
Cool.
Et cetera, et cetera. I don't know why Saturn played through like all of them in like a week or whatever. And then
it was like
the
a
rest,
year.
Yeah, and then like the rest, it's still like really fast, dude.
Oh yeah.
And then the rest of the game comes in, you're like, oh, I get it. Okay.
Yeah. Now it makes sense.
Yeah, that last few minutes get you. We'll get to that.
Yeah. My only last note and final thoughts is, but who is C?
We still don't know. But C died, guy. He died. He exploded in that ship that exploded.
We didn't see him die.
Don't even think about it.
Okay, yeah, that's another thing. For the entire Trail series, even if you do see someone die, assume they're not dead.
Oh, yeah, I imagine it's all comic book rules with all this shit. I just immediately
stupid levels of comic book rules. Yeah.
Well, you know what was not stupid?
No.
It's our Patreon.
What?
Patreon.com/Retro Warriors. You can get uncut versions of this show where we tell really, really sad stories this week. So sad. You can get Talking Wizards where we tell less sad stories. Not
always.
That's true. Look, things have been a little sad lately. Just it's going around, and we'll get over it.
Yeah.
But you should still go to our Patreon and join
be
us
sad
in Discord.
With us.
Look, if you can get through life having no sad stories, congratulations.
Right.
I always forget to mention it. There's a Linktree link.
Yes.
In our show description that you're listening to right now, and that takes you to a big link tree of all of our stuff. So you can go if you want. That's where all of our things are.
Yeah.
But we want to thank the following patrons, starting with Dr. Jason Tharp
and Mr. Jiggyfly,
Android 440,
Dave Nelson,
David DeAndrea,
Michael Castro. Oh no, sorry.
Wow.
You can take mine. I forgot. I'm so used to doing it just being Saturn.
Chris R.
I need a Billy Mitchell watch update.
I don't think we have a Billy Mitchell watch update.
Don't.
There's not been any. The Billy Mitchell news got so sad that we couldn't cover it because it was depressing. It reached a point where, like, I think this guy might legitimately have like some mental problems or something. I don't want to be like picking on this dude. Eric the Human
and 4E Care
are all patrons that gave us money, and we read all their names perfectly, and we did it great, and everything was planned and awesome. I didn't mess it up.
That's how we
so-
thank people is by reading their names perfectly.
That's how you can. That's how you can tell we appreciate. you.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll be back next week for the final Trails of Cold Steel. And so, spoiler warning for the final end of the game, and I will have more spoiler warnings next episode,
Yeah.
right before things get really fucking nuts.
Yep.
So just so people know,
Brace
we're gonna
yourselves.
put that all in there. It occurred to me I should probably put in the episode description. Well, no, because we say which chapters we
Yeah.
cover.
Yeah.
We covered 4 through 6. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
Anyway, we'll be back next week. Thank you for listening, and as always, let us cling together.